Welcome back to Blue Collar Coder. I'm Jack Harrington, and this is episode 31 of Tech A Day. We said it was going to be a month, and wow, here we are at the end. I get to finally retire this shirt. So we are going to end where it all basically starts, which is vanilla JavaScript. No frameworks, no React, no Vue, just JavaScript in the browser. So why would you want to look at that? Well, there's two big reasons. One, it's where everything starts. So understanding vanilla JavaScript and how to manipulate the DOM directly gives you a really much better understanding of how frameworks work and what they're doing for you. And then secondly, it's just fast. If you can get by with just straight JavaScript on the page, it's really fast. So what we're going to do is I've scraped this site, Rifftrax. I love these guys. They make hilarious movies. They're getting me through this pandemic. Thank you so much. And I've created a JSON file with all of their movies in it. So we are going to go and wrap that in a nice little vanilla JavaScript app that gives you a searchable page of their movies. All right, let's go jump into the code. Okay, to start off, I've got a movies.json file here that was built with this scraper. In it is an array of movies where you have an href, which is the location on the Rifftrax site, image, which is the image, the cover image, and then title, which is the title. So let's just bring up one here. Cool. Sorcerer's Apprentice. Nice. Okay, so we're going to create two files, index.html and index.js. We're going to bring in index.js, add a title, and now we are going to bring in Bootstrap remotely, not the JavaScript, just the CSS. I just wanted it to look pretty. Okay, so let's bring that up. Hi there. Looks pretty good. So the first thing we're going to do is use fetch. Fetch is built into the browser, so we're just going to directly use that. We're going to fetch movies. That first then is going to convert it to JSON, and that second then is going to have the movies data. So we're just going to put a little spot in there for the cards. We're going to create a set of cards, one for each movie. But in the meantime, let's just go and first we're going to get element by ID on that cards. That's going to give us back an HTML element. And an HTML element has a bunch of different properties on it, one of which is inner text. So we're going to set that to the stringify of those movies, and that just shows the JSON on the page. So that's one way to set the contents of an element on the page, and one way with document.getElementById to go and get it. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a createCard function. That's going to go and build us one of these cards. Simple function, just a string template that takes the title, the href, and the image. First, we'll just go and create a div with a class of card. That's a Bootstrap thing. And then an image with the class card image top, also a Bootstrap thing. And the alt, which is just the name of the movie. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set inner HTML to a map of the movies, putting them all through that createCard function. And then we're going to join that with nothing, meaning we just bring that all together into a single string, and then we set inner HTML to that. So inner HTML on an element sets the HTML, inner text sets the text. Now, from a security perspective, inner text is a lot safer because there's no way that you can inject like script tags in there, but certainly more convenient to use inner HTML in this case. Okay, looks pretty good, although these cards are humongoid, and also there's no sorting, so let's first sort the list. So yes, it's VanillaJS, but you do have access. I mean, you have access to all of the basic functionality of JavaScript. You can sort things, everything that we've talked about in terms of the basic mechanics of JavaScript through this Tech A Day series, arrays, objects, dates, it's all there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a title on there. That looks pretty good. And then a button. All right, that looks good too. And if we click on that, we go over to their site. So the next thing we're going to do is build a columns function. That's going to take a set of those cards where the cards are the HTML for each card. And then we're going to wrap that in a row. And then we're going to map through those cards and wrap those into responsive divs. So that div, by default has a call of 6. So in a 12 column layout, that means half. And then at the large breakpoint, you've got 3. So you're going to have 4 columns. And again, we use that join with no contents And the only reason we do that is just so we don't get that comma. All right, now we're looking pretty good. All right, and this is vanilla JavaScript. Nice, right? And fast and clean. Now we can make it smaller and see that it's responsive. Beautiful. Okay, now let's make it interactive. So we're going to add a search field. In Bootstrap, you just create an input, type equals text, and give it a form control class, and that makes it all beautiful. And then we're going to add a custom search class. So that's just so we can find it. And then we're going to do a document.querySelector on .search. Now, a query selector is just like a CSS query selector. It gives you back the first matching element. There's also document.querySelector all that will give you back an array of all matching elements for that CSS selector. And then we're going to add an event listener to it. In this case, we're going to look for key up. So this is just what React is doing. It's just syntactic sugar for you. Like, you do on key up, right? And then React is doing an event listener just like this. Okay, so we're going to go and take the text of the target value, which is, we currently type text. And then we're going to, again, set that inner HTML, but this time we're going to run a filter on it. So now we can search for Ator and find Ator, the fighting eagle, one of my favorites. But let's try one more thing. So building HTML with strings is okay, but not great. The way that I like to do it is to use document.createElement. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to create an update movies function, and we're just going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to set the inner HTML to that columns. And so now you just give it the list of movies, and it does the work. Let's just go make sure that works. Yep, looks great. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use document.createElement to create a new element. It hasn't been assigned to anywhere in the DOM yet, but it's going to give us back an element. And then we're going to set that class name to row. And then we're going to append child on cards. So the DOM is a tree, and you can use tree functionality like append child to go and add a child element to another element. So in this case, we're going to append this row element to the cards element that we've got from the original DOM. And now, well, we don't need to do that. So we can get rid of that. We can simplify this down a little bit. Now columns just does that map for us with the responsive row setting. Now it looks good. Astro Zombies, that looks great. And we can just kind of go roll that back into update movies. Super clean. Now this is a lightning tour, right? There's a lot more to it. And in fact, I think I'm going to do a bunch of videos on VanillaJS. So look forward to those. But one more thing, I want to show you how performant this is. So we're going to go over and run Lighthouse on this. And right off the bat, we just run the performance metrics. I didn't do anything on SEO or accessibility. And boom, 100%. So yes, it's fast. Another great value for vanilla JavaScript. Okay, before I wrap this up, I do want to talk a little bit about why people might be averse to vanilla JavaScript. So when JavaScript first came out, it was pretty rudimentary, right? You could only do get element by ID. There was no query selector. And that was a big deal, really kind of hamstrung pages. And so that's actually the origin of jQuery. jQuery was created because there was no query selector built into the DOM interface that JavaScript works with. And that's, why query is in the name jQuery, right? It's basically doing that for you. But now is not then, right? And we've got really good support in the browser for doing queries. Most of the DOM work is pretty standardized across all the browsers. In fact, you probably wouldn't run into cross-browser issues like that. Fetch is cross-browser. So, this code is going to work in a whole bunch of different places. And if you want to, you could transpile back to use vars instead of const and let, and still get, similar performance metrics and widen your browsers. So I really do believe that you don't need to be averse to JavaScript in 2020. You should learn it because it's really the underpinnings of these frameworks like React and Vue and the rest, and understanding how those work will help you be a better React and Vue programmer. All right, I hope that was fun for you, and maybe you'll go check out one of those movies. They're awesome. So what's going to happen to this channel now that I'm finished with Tech A Day? Well, I want to bring you really high quality videos like this, and I can't really do it at the cadence of one a day like I have been with Tech A Day. Before Tech A Day, I was doing about one a week, and that really worked. It allowed me to get in, really kind of dig into topics, do some good production values for you, give you a really high quality video. And I kind of want to get back to that. Of course, I reserve the right to go and get a topic and be super excited about it and put out a video for you on the day. Absolutely. So you probably will see a bunch of those, but yeah, I'm going to go back more towards the release every Friday cadence. So I'll see you on Friday with a new video. In the meantime, if you like this video, just hit that like button. If you like these videos in general, I'm always a big fan of my subscribers. Just hit 900. That's awesome. So be sure to click that bell and you'll be notified when any new videos come out. It won't be one a day anymore, but it'll be once a week at least. And of course, be happy, be healthy, stay indoors, and be safe.